Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Mythgard in Middle-earth. My name is Corey Olson, the Tolkien professor, joined as always by my friend Gryfflet, who is a little puzzled by this exchange that's going on over here near Tolwin, here in the Crithost Hall. That is like, you could not help but wonder why, you've got this woman speaking determinedly to this guy who seems only vaguely interested. But then there's this guard with his spear lowered, standing right between them, looking rather ominous. And I'm like, my first theory was that he was her husband and he was about to run this guy through. But this guy's looking around like he's trying to escape. So I'm really not sure what's going on here. Does he think he's going to have to defend that guy from her? Like, is she about to attack or something? Oh, I see. Edith says that the guy's looking for an escape route. She's cornered him about something, and the guard is hired by the wife to make sure he stays put. Okay, yeah, no, that tracks. Because he's not exactly threatening, but lowering your spear like that in the middle of a crowded room, it's kind of a, I guess many of them are sort of doing that, which doesn't seem quite safe. I poke somebody's eye out with that thing. Watch yourself. But anyway, okay. It does look like he's being told off for something. That I can certainly believe. Okay, right. So we're in agreement that the guard is his job is to keep this guy in place and not let him escape. Yeah, and he's probably earned whatever he's getting. I think that's probably true. Okay, anyway, Tolwin and I were just about to go look for his mom, I think, finally. I've been looking for his mom in a desultory sort of fashion around already burned out farmsteads. But Tolwin, I think I found evidence, because someone snuck in and killed the captains in either camp. And given your own personal prowess, I would not be surprised to discover that was your mom. So let's do it, Tolwin. Oh yes, okay, this is the whistle to summon Tolwin quest. Join him on a search for his mother, Dúneth. All right, so I thought it was an instance, but no, it's a whistle and he'll join me quest. I didn't notice that. Okay. All right. So yeah, the spear is at head level for any rambunctious children, which seems extreme to me. Or hobbits, right? I mean, it was like right in my face. But I guess the swords too. They're just on edge around here. What can I say? I mean, and it's a little understandable. Okay. Oh wait, hang on. I should probably actually blow the whistle. All right, Tolwin, where are we headed? Because I have no idea. Okay. Here we, bow in one hand, sword in the other, huh, Tolwin? Okay. No, we're not doing the bow. We've skipped the bow now. Well, that was interesting. Okay. Sure.
I will stay strong.
There's a farm by the river, not too far from here. Farmers from Parth-Forant safely evacuated to Crithost at the first signs of conflict at Cair Andros. Why have I not thought of this sooner? Parth-Forant is abandoned and has not yet been taken over by the enemy. I bet we will find my mother there. Okay. Yeah, well, I can understand that you want to search first in the places that are actively on fire. Okay. Right, so southeast, huh? All right, let's head southeast, Tolwin. All right, Tolwin, I have a suspicion that you are going to be one of the best tanks I've run with in some time. Let's see how you do compared to some of these other NPCs I've been whistling for in the last year or so. Okay. All right, so we're headed, southeast from here. In fact, not far from where I found you, Tolwin. It just goes to show, like, when you're looking for something, like, the first thing to ask yourself is, where was the last time you saw it, right? Okay, we're going to stealth now, Tolwin, all right? Let me introduce you to the concept of stealth. We're going to sneak. And we're not just going to go off and attack things, okay? Okay, you're doing a good job with the deer and the boars. I suspect you'll not be quite so... Whew! That was fast, Tolwin. You're speedy when you want to be. I suspect you're not going to be as gentle with the boars. Or the ravaging wargs. Okay. Alright, here we are. Whew. Man, you can hustle, Tolwin. Okay. I can also see that no one has been here for a while. Tolwin pauses with a frown upon his face and looks toward the ground for a moment. The best place left to look for my mother is the farm of Parthgladlow. We didn't even go in yet. Well, we'll look around, but okay. The farm of Parthgladlow in southern Talathanor. I have seen many foes across the river Forant, though. The Forant River. Sorry. Yeah. It will not be an easy task. Still, we must try to find her. If we cannot find her, we should still send the First Blade a message that he is unwanted in Gondor. Well, I know you're itching to do that, Tolwin. I get that. Now, don't worry, Tolwin. Don't give up. We'll find her. Is she down the well? No, probably not. Okay. So this is a nice and unburned village, and we're headed. We're continuing. We're going across the river. Okay. Yeah. Right up. A little further upstream from the camp that I already ransacked. You would have enjoyed that, Tolwin, I'm sure. Okay, now you're running fast but slow. It's a little strange, Tolwin. Tell you what, I'm not going to bother stealthing because it's not going to really do very much good when it comes to keeping you out of trouble. So we'll just, see what we can do. All right, we're going to swim across the river. You're doing a good job, Tolwin. See us short people, we got to stick together, Tolwin. All right, what do we got up there? A turtle, huh? Okay. So, what... is that Cair Andros I'm looking at? No. That's Osgiliath I'm looking at. Okay. Of course, there's the Dome of the Stars. As was. Okay, we got some ravaging wargs. We got some other mounted... Suhalar... Okay. Here's that last village. Tolwin, what do you think of this? We'll hide in the bushes.
I will try to persevere.
Orcs are everywhere around this farmland. It looks as if they're building machines for war. I worry what will happen if they march to Minas Tirith with these machines. We must stop them from building any more of this siege equipment. I love it. A hobbit and a, third grader together are going to, undermine, eliminate the siege equipment of or we're, going to protect Minas Tirith, Okay, lumber piles and defeat the siege builders. Okay, we're not actually being attacked by that guy, are we? No, we're not. No, we're being very inconspicuous, Tolwin. All right. Oh, so they're still in the early stages. Alright, Tolwin, see what you can do. Alright, there you go. Oh, look at that. You drew his aggro straight from me. That's not bad. It's hard for you to keep it, I know, but that's not really your fault. I think that's just how things are set up, Tolwin. Okay, these... oh, boy. These are some serious lumber piles that we're setting fire to here, Tolwin, but... So come, Tolwin, let me instruct you in the ways of benevolent arson. Gryfflet has long experience in this particular field. Hey, ooh, it's a named guy. But we'll be careful, Tolwin, because you haven't given me a quest for that dude yet. which I assume will happen, but it hasn't yet. Right now, we're just setting fires. Just setting fire. Boy, it looks like somebody already got to some. Oh, those the farm. That's the farm. Like, that's not actually a piece of siege equipment. I'm surprised we're letting that banner go. I mean, as long as we're setting fires, right? Might as well burn their banners. It's one of my other favorite things. Okay. It's the siege builders that we're looking for, Tolwin. Look how good you are, following me very carefully and not going off and just attacking everybody in the camp. Well, though that said, I think we're gonna have to just off these dudes and go through this way. Okay. Oh boy, this guy's feisty. Okay. Alright, now we'll head over to this other siege builder. How many of these guys do we need? What do we need? 5 of them. So, okay, down to 3 more. Alright, I'm going to stealth now. Temporarily, apparently. Okay. While we're finishing this, I got a flurry of lore questions at the end of last time, which I wasn't able to get to. But let me try to get back to some of those here while I'm wandering about the camp. Let's see. Miley Holmes asked if Gandalf knew Bilbo had a great ring. Didn't he know Bilbo would eventually fade away? But then again, what else could Gandalf have done? Yeah, I am so glad that you added that. Because that, I think, is really the sticking point. Yes. I mean, he says... Come on, seriously. He says that he knew that was, the outcome. Yeah, he says that he knows, he has the lore, that a mortal who wields one of the great rings, who keeps one of the great rings, does not die or grow old, or he fades. So did he know that would happen to Bilbo and that would be undesirable? Yeah, presumably he did. But it is true that one of the important elements is that he what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Take it from Bilbo by force? Go rat him out to whom? Who will take it by force? Taking it by force is not something that good guys do, not to mention friends, as Gandalf is a friend to Bilbo. Also, keep in mind that this is actually... this fact has explanatory power as well. That is one of the things... that is... when Gandalf's suspicions are first being formed about the ring, about Bilbo and what's going on with him and what's going on with his ring. Sorry, failing to even attack this dude. One of the things that he, there are some things that he observes, but doesn't understand, and there are some things that he doesn't even observe. One of the things clearly that he can observe is Bilbo's apparently long life. And therefore a question would be, well, hang on a second. Why does Bilbo's apparently long life not make it obvious to him that that was the One Ring, right? Well, I've talked about this. It's on some other occasions. The primary point there is that Gandalf didn't think it was the One Ring because he knew that the One Ring was not available. Like, by process of elimination, he had eliminated the One Ring. But that's not the primary point. The primary point is that he saw Bilbo being influenced by the ring having some power over him. But he did not at first notice that it was having an evil power over him. He could see that it was affecting him, but it was affecting him as he would expect one of the great rings to affect him, which is not necessarily, I mean, it's not awesome, but at this point, it had just been prolonging his life, right? At some point, he would have approached Bilbo about this, I believe. You know, he would have had a little intervention and said, okay, Bilbo, you're now, 150, right? You've now lived 20 years longer than any other hobbit in history, and you still look 50, right? Let's talk about this a little bit, and maybe, it's time to reconsider some things. I believe he probably would have had that chat, right? But remember, he doesn't get alarmed about Bilbo's ring. He doesn't really get stirred into action until the confrontation in Bag End at the end of chapter 1, when the dark side of the influence of the ring begins to show itself clearly in Bilbo. And moreover, when he starts acting all Gollumish with his precious and threatening violence and all that kind of thing. That's when he begins to think, okay, so A, the ring is affecting him like a great ring would. He suspected that from the beginning, and that's only been confirmed by Bilbo's apparent his not visibly aging over the years. But it's that confrontation, right? It's that other layer that convinces him, okay, this is not only a great ring, this is a great ring that has this corruptive influence. That's bad. And that means maybe Gollum is not some, slimy, evil mountain creature. Maybe this means that Gollum himself not only had his life prolonged by a great ring, but was himself twisted and made evil. Again, maybe this is when the picture begins to become clear that Gollum himself was just further down the same road, right, that Bilbo was already setting off down. So that's the really crucial piece of the puzzle. But again, so did he know that he was going to? Yes, he did. But again, what can he do? He can't take it away. And he hadn't yet spoken up. Remember that one line that Gandalf, when Gandalf's explaining to Frodo, where Gandalf says that he said to himself, still he comes of a long-lived family on his mother's side, right? There is time yet, wait. Meaning, he couldn't yet prove it. Like, his neighbors, Bilbo's neighbors, had begun to notice that he was aging very slowly, right? That he seemed to have perpetual youth, which seemed like too much of a good thing. But it apparently had not yet reached the point where Gandalf was 100% convinced that it was due to the ring, right? It's possible it could have been explained in other ways. And I'll add one other thing here too. Tolwin, what do you have to say? That was difficult, but we sure made quick work of that camp. That's right. Hey, look, you want me to set fire to orc camps? You have come to the right place. I don't think they'll be able to construct any more siege machines now. That's right.
I will stay strong.
Look over to the edge of the woods. Do you see the orcs cutting down the beautiful woods of Talathanor? We must stop them. They have destroyed so much of this land, the farms, the orchard. We cannot let them take the forest as well. Okay, but aren't we kind of, Look, I agree. That's awful. But aren't we kind of, taking our eyes off the prize here? Aren't we supposed to be looking for your mom? But, maybe she also would object to that. And so, okay. Maybe this will be, the sign that leads us to the Holy Grail. Oh, great. There are mounted enemies just kind of hanging out in this wood as well. Okay, 8 loggers. Anyway, here's the one last thing that I wanted to say. Gandalf is... Well, I don't want to say untrustworthy, because I don't really mean that. What I'm saying, but what I would say, though, is that his account, the account that we have from him about his suspicions, is after he already knows the truth of his suspicions. So when Gandalf says to Frodo that it was obvious from the first that it was a great ring, right? And that he never had any doubts about that. I think he might be exaggerating a little bit. Again, even his own words, he is of a long-lived family on his mother's side there, suggests that, in fact, he did have some doubts about that. So I think that Gandalf, kind of exaggerates a little bit, or simplifies things a bit in the retelling. Again, I'm not accusing Gandalf of dishonesty, just of exaggeration, he's not speaking as under oath. He's not speaking with scientific precision. He's using Gandalfisms, which often means, again, exaggerating and so I do think that that's the kind of thing that that Gandalf does. And so I do think that he's kind of simplifying things a little bit when he says that that was clear from the beginning. I really suspect that means that I suspected this. I knew from the beginning that this was a possibility, even potentially a probability, but I think his own words suggest that it was not. He was not 100% certain of that. Anyway, it's one of the things that you have to be careful of when sort of reading Gandalf's words there, is that he, it's not that he's not trustworthy, it's that you have to sift his words. No, I'm kidding. He's speaking casually and to a friend. We did it. I'm so glad we were able to save the trees from being turned into machines of war. I hope to take walks here with my children when I am older. Wow, that's a strange thought. Tolwin, you are mature beyond your years. That does sound nice. Excuse me, Orc, we were just having a pleasant conversation. I was about to get my next quest. Okay, oh wait, I'm supposed to look around? I didn't get another quest, but that's okay. I'm looking around. Oh, no, wait. See, I didn't... What do I have the quest, but I was not even told it? What? Look around for Dúneth at the first farmhouse? What first... Oh, back in Parth Gladio. Okay, so we're done with our little forest interlude, huh? Okay, so going back to the town. Stupid orc interrupting my quest flow here. Let's see. Edith says Gandalf also claims to have known that Gollum had escaped the elves, which you think is also an exaggeration. Yeah, I do think there's a little bit of posturing on Gandalf's part there. Yeah. Okay, so... Alright, Tolwin, hang on. Let's let this guy go past. We're doing this burglariously, Tolwin. I know you could take all these guys single-handedly. You'll tear them all apart. Okay, let's see. Looking around. What do we see? Nah. An orc captain shouting orders nearby. Where? Okay. I don't even know. But okay, and there's a second farmhouse. Let's go around. Burglariously, Tolwin. Whoa, Warg Rider. Oh no. Uh-oh. Can't stop Tolwin. Nice. We took him down. Tolwin's like, I'll chase after him. Oh, man. That was epic, Tolwin. Okay. That's all right. Anyway, we're sneaking, Tolwin. We're sneaking. And in sneaking around here, really, I'm just being merciful to the orcs. Or, like, sporting, you know. Okay, I think that's the second farmhouse over there. I've got to go well around, unfortunately, because I don't want to aggro the named boss until, you know, I've got a call for it. This isn't a farmhouse, is it? Oh, it is. Okay. No one has been here recently. Okay. Now I get the named boss. Gryfflet has taken on a Padawan Drow Snake. Well, you know, so it's hard because on the one hand, Tolwin is like maybe in burglarious feats, perhaps he's a Padawan, but he's like at least as accomplished as I am when it comes to like simple mayhem. So Tolwin, pay attention here. We're gonna, yeah, there we go. We're going to take out some of these wandering dudes because we don't want them piling in from behind. And like this archer, he's in a terrible spot. And I mean, like any minute he could just start shooting us in the back while we're fighting. Is there a disturbance there? Oh yeah, this guy too. He's a problem. So is targeting him apparently, but. Okay. All right. Now let's go after Gudru. Is there a disturbance? I don't see any disturbance. Okay. The disturbance is you've got a pair of vicious small people cutting you off at the knees, my friend. And you have no idea what even hit you. A human figure run away from Gudru's perch towards the woods. Oh, yeah? Is that backpack like a reward backpack? Did it appear when we killed Gudru? I bet you we got to Gudru right before your mom, Tolwin. She's probably going to be cross that we totally, you know, we were totally kill stealing Gudru right there. Yeah, I thought I saw them leave the left side of the screen, but I was, you know, a little bit distracted there. Just, you know, trying to keep my, man, these loggers are thick on the ground. Oh, line of footprints. The trail of footprints leads deeper into the woods. I don't have to click on each one, do I? Man. Okay, yeah, let's just re-kill every single logger, too. You don't tempt Tolwin, man. He'll do it. I mean, he takes out entire troops of orc loggers like before breakfast. Okay, we're just going to follow the footprints then, Tolwin. Try to stay focused now. Yeah, well, that guy was in hot pursuit, so... So normally, Tolwin, I'd have stealthily followed these and ignored everybody else, but again, since you're kind of out in the open there, oh, man, I've never seen so many footprints. Not to mention, they're super... How tall is your mom? According to these footprints, she's about 20 feet tall. Now, if she's running, maybe she's only 12 feet. So is she, does the blood of Elendil the Tall run true in her? If your mom is 12 feet tall, are you actually like a toddler or something? Man, this is a long and dramatic footprint trail. Maybe she's doing like the triple jump. It's also possible. Huh? Oh, there's a camp. Look, it's Mom. She's got a whole rebel base over here. She's not just sneaking around. She got supplies. She's got a whole depot over here. Look, she's got a wagon. She doesn't have a horse to pull it, but she's got a wagon. Crates of supplies. She's just looking for a pile of rubble to bury it in. Ah, this woman knows what's going on. Oh, she looks a little severe. Shorter than I thought, but... Why don't you talk to her, Tolwin? You know, make sure she knows I'm not an orc, or she might tread on me.
Dark skies, dark tidings.
My son, I did not know if you were alive until I saw you fighting that orc in Parth Gladlow. You are both brave. Did Tolwin not tell you of my training in both stealth and blade? Oh man, I admire that. I suppose he was too young to remember my training. No matter, we are safe to rest here for a short time. Where are my manners? My name is Dúneth. I am sure Tolwin has been worried sick about me. I love the fact that she does not even blink at the fact that her son was like, she just interrupted her son, almost interrupted her son, who's like, you know, in primary school, you know, slaying the orc captain, and she's like, yeah, naturally, you know, good to see you find some reputable pastimes since we've parted, my son. She's taking it all in stride. Okay. Yes, in her very large stride. I had forgotten the words my father once said to me. He told me that we come from a long line of skilled warriors and everyone in this family is a warrior. Of course he meant my mother too, but it had slipped my mind. Thanks to you, we are reunited and can both work together to find and oust the first blade.
If my mother were here, she'd know what to do now.
We're on Team Tolwin now. I trust my way. Who needs an army? You know, I mean, it is really too bad that if his father and other siblings were alive, we could just fight off the entire attacking army, I'm sure. I trust my mother to lead us from now on. She is strong-willed like my father and caring like my older brothers. She is all the family I have left, and she contains the best qualities of all the family I have lost. Speak with her about what we should do next. Okay. All right. Ma'am, what do we do?
I haven't slept in days.
I thought my entire family was lost. I came to these woods to plan my last stand and take revenge for the destruction that Corpurta has caused. He took the life of my sweet Gilgir and 2 of my sons. I must stand strong. Now that we are all here, perhaps we stand a chance to see this revenge through. I would recommend that we head to Yal Kepir A blockade right outside Cair Andros. I was going to say I know it well, but no, I know the other one. Okay, so this is a new one. If we can take the blockade, then we may have a chance to get inside Cair Andros and confront Corpurta. Okay? So Tolwin's sticking with me here? Alright. I kind of thought he'd be staying. But no, you're gonna... So she's sending Tolwin and I off together? Oh. Yeah. Okay, oh right, so I see right, Finnboga, yes, you're right. Finnboga, so you've answered your own question. Yes. Radagast, of course, was invented in The Hobbit. So the relationship of Radagast to the... Oh, Tolwin is in. See, you're sneaking, right? Ish. Okay, so we just go up the river, maybe? We'll go along the Anduin. Up to Cair Andros. That ought to work. Oh, we're being swarmed by fen flies. It's like New Hampshire in May around here. Okay, Tolwin. We'll see how we can do. Let's try not to slay more of the fauna than we need to here. Okay. But anyway, yeah. So the specific relation of Radagast to the Five Wizards stuff, the reference to the Five Wizards. Radagast is one of the White Wizards, meaning like the good guys, before they were enumerated, right? So we get Radagast in The Hobbit, or at least we hear of Radagast in The Hobbit. Oh, I'm following the wrong river, dolt. Yeah, I am. See, this is always a risk, you know, when I'm talking and I'm playing at the same time. Sometimes you mistake tributaries for the Great River Anduin, which feels dumb in retrospect, but you know, I just said I'm going to follow the river, and then I started following the first river I saw, because I'm talking about the White Wizards and not paying attention. Anyway, you know, we'll work it out. We'll get there eventually. Okay, anyway, as I was saying, it's very clear from Tolkien, from The Hobbit, where, remember, Gandalf goes to attend a meeting of the White Wizards, which have an unspecified, and it sounds large, number of them. At the end of The Hobbit, he mentions that. That's when they go and kick out the necromancer. That was, of course, the original concept of the White Council, is that it was the council of wizards. No elves necessarily involved of any kind. Notice that he is informing Elrond at the end of The Hobbit about what the White Council did, as if Elrond himself were not involved, because there's no reason to think he was. And anyway, it's clear also from the early drafts of The Lord of the Rings that there was a quite indefinite number of wizards, and that the Witch King, of course, was originally the Wizard King, and he was originally a wizard who went bad. Do I still have Tolwin? There you are, right there with me. He was a wizard who went rogue, essentially, and this is why that's why there was always kind of an issue with Gandalf in particular. why Gandalf's strength had not yet been measured against him, but Gandalf was assuming it would be. Why he confronts the confrontation between the Witch King and Gandalf at the gates of Minas Tirith, feels like the culmination of, like an inevitable thing, all that sort of thing. Anyway, Radagast is still one of those until Tolkien wrote that line about the rods of the 5 wizards, at which point he was like, oh, so 5 wizards, I guess. Looks like I can get up over there. Let's give it a shot. Whoa, Tolwin. Hey, you do swim. Why? Was the river very cold? Or something? Why was the river hurting me? I don't know. Anyway. Okay. I think we're there, Tolwin. Yeah, that looks like it. That's because the river's very strong. Yeah, well, strong is a relative term when Gryfflet and Tolwin are coming through. Okay, so we're traveling here. Will we arrive if we... Okay. Defeat enemies. That's it? Just defeat enemies? Does that turtle count? He's in my way. Oh my gosh, he does. This turtle is in league with the enemy. It cannot be born. How can you betray Gondor, turtle? Oh no, wait, is that fly a spy of the enemy too? Hang on. Those fen flies? No, they're innocent. Whew. It's a good thing if the flies had turned against us. I guess they're already turned against us, technically, but they probably attack the enemy also. Be on the lookout for more traitor turtles. That's terrible. Just terrible. Alright, I guess we'll go in the front door. Since I really am not sure we're gonna get in another way. Why did it pull me out of stealth? Just because Tolwin was seen by them. Okay. Well, that's 4 enemies, Tolwin. I guess. Oh, an Uruk-hai. Hey, look, an untouched corpse. Barely ever see those these days. Okay. So not only does Mordor have an elite air force, they have armored divisions. Apparently, something like that. Okay. Oh. I just unstealthed Gryfflet. So, really, you have nothing else for us to do but sneak around and fight, folks? No, this is a mixed camp. We've got Uruk-hai. We had Uruks. And there's Suhalar Axe Pavilion over there. Let's see. Yeah. They've got turtles. I love how the other guys around the same fire are like, well, we saw nothing. We didn't like that guy anyway, so. All right. Let's see. Oh, there's nothing over here under the big pavilion, which I think is still a Suhalar thing. Okay. I'm just hoping that whatever the next whatever the next quest is, it's not going to make me like re-kill all these dudes, or I'm fixing to be annoyed. Okay. Let's see. Tolwin. If we just get this guy, will the other guys not care? Oh, sure. This guy is apparently valued. This guy must, like, owe them all a round or something. Yeah, look, everybody springs to action when we attack that guy. I don't think you can just run away from me. Don't you realize how rude that is? Okay, Tolwin's got the other guy. Okay, Tolwin. Now what? Let's see. Speak with Dúneth. Oh, really? Alright, I think I might indulge myself. She is back at the camp, right? She didn't sneak. No, she did sneak up. Okay. That's fine. I was going to indulge myself and use... Oh, come on. Oh, but I searched it without being interrupted. Oh, that's just how incompetent you are. Oh, that is so embarrassing for you. I'm just looting corpses while you're attacking me, as if you're not even there. Okay, let's go find your mom, Tolwin. Okay, Dúneth, we largely depopulated the camp. Gryfflet is now accompanied by Tolwin, just in baby guardian mode. Okay. Let's see. Oh, hang on. Yeah. Sorry, didn't see you, but I suppose that's the point. Tolwin, you better tell her about the turtles. Okay, I was able to take out the scouts patrolling near the bridge. I think we have a shot at getting into Cair Andros. I hope that this isn't too much for Tolwin. Are you kidding me? He's a brave warrior, but still so young. It just gives the others a fighting chance, honestly, but not much of one. What do you say to that, Tolwin? We have come this far, and I am not about to give up. Let my mother lead us to victory. So heartwarming. I thank you for your aid in finding my mother. Still, there is much to do. Okay. Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Tolwin has left my side.
I haven't slept in days.
My son Tolwin and I are bound to this task of defeating those who destroyed our home. My husband and sons will not rest soundly until Corpurta is defeated. You do not need to put yourself in danger, as you have no ties to Talathanor. However, I see it in your eyes that you have done much to help this land, and wish to see a better life for all Gondorians. Wow, that's a lot to read in my eyes, but you are absolutely correct. Also, I see in Tolwin's eyes that he looks up to you. Boy, she has, like, proficiency in eye reading. Should you accept this final attack, you will give Tolwin the strength he needs to face the man who killed his father and kin. She is totally going to organize a single combat between her elementary school kid and the, like, warrior general who, the enemy general who slew her husband. This woman is boss. I will not mourn the loss of my husband Gilgir and my sons until the first blade falls.
You stand at the steps of Cair Andros, where the fearsome Suhalar Korputa must face the consequences of his actions for the slaughter of Gilgir and his sons.
Right. Okay. Yes, we do. All right. Wow. Look at all this stuff. All these things I don't need. Just checking to make sure. Landscape things. Okay. All right. Hey, I can stealth my own self now. And now you're both going to come with me, though. So, right. Okay. But you will not pull me out of stealth when we do this. Stay close. Okay. That's right. Dúneth is not one of these overprotective moms. That's right. The family that slays together stays together. We must press forward. More east wings ahead. Okay. Oh, yes. The full backstab from stealth bonus while they're already tanking. This is actually a good deal better than the whole whistle thing. Okay. I love how the quest instructions say that Dúneth and Tolwin must survive. Seriously, I'm like convinced that an avalanche could not defeat these two. Okay. We're fighting our way all the way in, so we're going into Cair Andros now. Okay. You will rest well tonight. Oh, I thought she was... For a second, I thought she was talking to Tolwin and being like, this is, you know... It's better than a bedtime story. But no, she's referring to her dead husband resting in his grave. I see. There will be blood tonight, right, Dúneth? Okay. Here, I'll help Tolwin because Dúneth could take that guy like with one hand. Just a full frontal assault, huh, Dúneth? That's the plan. Okay. We're making great progress here. It doesn't specify that Gryfflet must survive. That is true. Oh, Caltrop's getting me out of stealth. That is... I just clipped the edge of that coming through. That is unfortunate. Oh man, it's almost unfair to like stun them both and then just let Dúneth and Tolwin go on them. What's going on here? It's Corpurta! One by one you will fall, huh? Alright. Is he referring to us? Oh, for a second I thought he was fighting those trolls. I thought there was like some kind of, you know, internecine issue here, but apparently not. Okay, Corpurti. Oh, is that what you think, huh? You think you're just going to come over and... Yeah, you messed with the wrong family, bud. It is an honor to die by your blade. Is that what you actually think is going to happen? In case you haven't noticed, Corporta, I haven't even had to use heals. There's no escaping death. Look, I don't even have to run from death. Good thing those trolls are just amused by this whole thing, apparently. Which orc is collecting the bets? Hey there, Dúneth. We shall not tarry here much longer. We have finished what we have set out to do. It would be foolish to take on the entire army gathered within these walls. You mean it would be uncharitable to take on the entire army gathered within these walls? Because we might hurt their feelings. Let us all retreat to Crithost. Okay. Alright, a couple more stuff, but... Oh, I need to talk to you again. Because there's no loot for beating the boss? Is there any way of convincing those trolls to attack us? Probably not. We have accomplished what we came for. Yeah, let us retreat. Okay. Okay, here she is right out in the open. Man, she looks mean. Like she's an ally, but it's a good thing because I'm intimidated.
Dark skies, dark
We've made it back
tidings.
safely to Crithost. Tolwin and I shall spend our time vigilantly protecting this village. I am certain that some of the enemy in Cair Andros will retaliate. Crithost will stand. You have my word that we will rebuild Talathanor in time.
Dark skies, dark
I know you must
tidings.
depart. Well, that sounds suggestive. For the enemy marches south from Cair Andros towards Minas Tirith. You must defend the White City from the forces of Mordor. Do not fear. We shall be able to hold our own at Crithost. You vow to Dúneth and all the people of Talathanor to return after the battle and help her retake Cair Andros. Oh, yes. I think so. Are we going to get to come with the cowards? Like, when the cowards... Not cowards, that's harsh. When the people who kind of lose their nerve, but it's not really their fault, are sent off by Aragorn on the way to the Black Gate to go to retake Cair Andros, do we get to accompany them? Because I bet we do. That sounds exactly like what Lotro would do, right? They'd probably send us to, like, escort. We'd probably get delegated by Aragorn to lead them to Cair Andros, to retake Cair Andros. And do we get to reunite with Dúneth and Tolwin then, right? Do we, like, meet together in the middle in the ruins of Cair Andros, them attacking from the one side and us attacking from the other side, and, like, we only meet when all of the foes of Cair Andros lie between us, right, and all that kind of thing? Is that how... tell me that's how this goes down. Because, plus Aragorn would delegate that to us anyway, because he would know that, of course, like, we'll catch right up anyway, that, like, we have the magic power to do every side quest while still keeping up with the primary quest line. Oh man, okay, I'm excited. I have great anticipation, and I'm sure Tolwin and Dúneth, we will be meeting again with the foes of the invaders of Cair Andros crushed between us, as between two millstones later on. It'll be a while, I guess. But, okay. I shall always remember this day. You have taught me much, Gryfflet, in our short time together. I shall continue to practice my fighting techniques. Stealth, that's the thing. Stealth, sneak up. Remember the wisdom you've learned from Gryfflet here, Tolwin, right? Like, always sneak around the perimeter and set fire to things without alerting anybody, right? Stealth arson is the way to go in enemy camps. Thank you again for your assistance in finding my mother and reuniting me with the family I still have. You should make sure to speak with Kevineth before you head south. Okay. You vowed to Tolwin to help him take back Cair Andros after the war. Or even during the war. Oh man, I'm so excited now. Too bad I won't get to that quest for, I don't know, what, 3 years? 2 years? I don't even know. You would not believe it, but those saplings you brought back are growing better in Crithost than they were in the orchard. I'll see to it those fields are as beautiful and plentiful as they once were. It's a shame you have to leave so soon, but I do understand. This is a hard time for everyone in Gondor, and the White City needs as many able warriors as they can get. Good luck, and don't be a stranger around here in more peaceful times. I certainly hope to, you know, come back and get lots and lots of closure everywhere. I want the, like, this is, let's see. Oh, hang on. What's going on? Am I missing something? Oh, okay. No, you guys are talking about the future thing. All right. Anyway, okay. Oh, back to Ingold. I remember him. Okay. All right. So, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. One of the things that I am most hoping for, and I understand that. Okay, I think I'm totally done with Talithonor now. Let's see, what time is it? Oh, we still got some time. We can maybe do some quests inside the Pelennor, unless Ingold sends us out somewhere else as well. But I think we have now completed everything north of the Pelennor. Here's Gryfflet, confidently trotting through town, triumphantly having completed with the happy confidence of having completed all the quests. Is that what I did here? Hang on. Okay, so I got Lotro quests. What deed did I get? Ah, Quests of Old Anorian. That's right. I completed the Talithonor quests. Oh, we love that. So what do we have? What categories do we have? Quests of Pelennor Field. Complete the quests of Minas Tirith. Wow, yeah, that one's going to be a long time coming. Oh, no, because actually there weren't that many. That's why I was originally confused. Complete Old Anorian's Roaming Enemies deed. Oh, that sounds horrible. Oh, man, do I want to do that? So where do the other quest deeds live? Oh, answer here. I just haven't. Oh, no, here they are. Here they are. Okay. Right. Quest of Minas Tirith. 1 out of 21. Yeah. Okay, that's not the Pelennor quests. How many of those are there? 22. And I already have about 10 of them. And I haven't even gotten that really horrible sounding Roaming Enemies deed. I just might not complete that one, but I mean a quest deed, maybe I probably will. Hero of Talithonor. Oh man, Hero of Talithonor, that's a big deal. Okay, that's a nice title. Okay, right, yeah, hopefully, yeah, those are probably the Southgate quests. You're right. I should not despair. It makes me feel like despairing, not because of the number of quests, of course, but like roaming enemies sounds like I'm going to be doing all this mounted combat. So I'm hoping it doesn't mean that. I mean, it just means I have to roam around a lot, like in between them, you know, to get around and such. Anyway, okay. All right. But anyway, what I was saying before is I know that, you know, rumor is that we're heading down to Harad next, which is cool. I want to go to Umbar. I want to get a bright green cummerbund. I'm looking forward to that. I want to see Jajax made Puppet King of Umbar. There are lots of things I'm looking forward to in the southward trek that we have been promised in the next expansion of Lotro. But even more importantly, what I want is I want to be sent on a many partings. I want to be sent on the super max version of many partings. So like in the chapter Many Partings, right, when they go back to all the, you know, not all, but many of the places that they've been before, and kind of have a little bit of closure in every place. I want to do that, except I want the whole tour. Like, I want to go back through every town and village in Gondor and Rohan and Dunland and everywhere else that I've ever been. And, hang on, Ingold's right there. Gryfflet, you're missing him. Everywhere I've ever been and find out, like, what has happened since the war. Like, that's all I ask. That's all I ask. Is, like, another layer, like, another phase of the entire game. That's it. That's it, with like resolutions of the stories and an indication of like what's going to happen next in the lives of all of the characters that we've met in the entire game, and go back up to Arnor and find the surviving rangers returning back and starting rebuilding projects in Fornost and all that. That's it. That's it. Like I don't need new stuff. I just want to go over everything a second time. Like that's all. That's all. That's all I ask. Okay. Finboga, I have not yet done a Narnia book in like the Mythgard Academy yet.
Can only hope that the Rohirrim will arrive.
They've been bridesmaids several times in our elections, but they've never won the election yet. So I've not yet done Narnia. I did teach several of the Narnia books in my Lewis and Tolkien course for the MA program at Signum, which you can get as an anytime audit if you wanted to do that. I think that's the only formal teaching I've done on Narnia, unless I'm forgetting something. Yeah, we did do Out of the Silent Planet, exactly. Yeah, it's the only Lewis we've done. I'm still hoping that someday we're going to do Till We Have Faces, which is the greatest work of fiction that Lewis ever wrote. But that hasn't won yet either. Okay, you were gone longer than expected. Well, yeah, I was like rescuing all of the whole area in the north here. You say you were able to help establish a Gondorian stronghold in Crithost? That is good news. While Cair Andros may be lost, we still hold a patch of ground in Talathanor. Slowly we will push the enemy back. That's the plan. Perhaps it would be wise of you to return to Minas Tirith. I am sure that there are those in the city that could use your aid. Also, there are many statues that still need discovering. I shall remain here to hold the North Gate for the arrival of the Rohirrim. Okay, Ingold. Actually, you kind of won't, but I probably shouldn't bring that up because... Okay. All right. Now, back to the Pelennor field quests, which I don't even remember. All right, hang on, Gryfflet. Let's not go herring off here. I thought that was hardly herring speed, now was it? Okay. Pelennor. Just the 4. Okay, so I felt like I had 15 quests, but maybe it was just because I got so many quests at one time, both for the Pelennor and for Talathanor, that I was briefly overwhelmed and exaggerated them in my mind. Okay, so what am I doing again? I'm confronting opportunistic thieves. Look for suspicious characters throughout the city and confront them? Oh, no, that's not it. That's not it. Okay. Culling the Tide of Easterlings. That's what I'm talking about. Suhalar Easterlings can be found in the northern section of the Pelennor Fields. Okay, so just random Suhalar Easterlings. Sabotaging siege engines. One of my specialities. Okay, no problem. 8 siege engines. Defeat enemies at Pelforod. Okay. Up in the northern fields, sure. Pelforod can be found in the northern sector of Pelennor Fields. Okay. Defeat enemies. Sure. And there's a dude. Okay. And then the integrity to speak with Turgon at the South Gate. Well, yeah. Sure. Of course. So I've only got actually 3 quests for up here. Well, so far. He'll probably give me more when I finish these. Okay. No problem. No problem. So I actually only have really 3 out here in Pelennor. Wow. Okay. All right. So maybe I should not have dismounted my horse so rashly. All right, let us go through the Ramas. Oh, no, it's not enemies I have to defeat. It's specifically Suhalar, right? I love the culverts. Okay, right, those are the culverts. We're now on the other side. Here's that river we've been crossing repeatedly. Where does it come from? Minas Tirith looking awesome in the distance there. It just comes from the mountains up next to the city. Okay. Okay, well here it looks like the Suhalar camp I was looking for. I would not like to face the mounted enemies if I can avoid it. Okay. So, phase 1 is just taking out a bunch of these guys. And the decimation of the land. Where is Pelennor? It's still a ways away down there. But there's some of these guys who count. This would be the siege engine one, the blue one. Alright, so I better work my way towards that white zone and killing folks in the purple as we go. No problem. Okay, good. Let me get another lore question queued up there while I carve a bloody path through the northern chunk of the Pelennor here. Tomas had a great question. I'm still wondering what Tolkien meant by Morgoth's beast of horn and ivory in the First Age. Did he mean dinosaurs? Or something closer to us, like elephants or rhinos or buffalo or whatever? That's a really cool question. So, first, let's just sort of start from within the text. What Tomas is referring to, in case you're not familiar, in the Silmarillion, we're told that early on, right, like in the early days, there were a bunch of Morgoth was doing some like initial experimentation. This is even before the orcs are made. Once again, someone's looted the backpack. Even before he has made orcs, he makes these monsters, which are called, beasts of horn and ivory. These are the creatures that are being hunted by Orome when Orome comes around. What exactly are they? I certainly don't think that they're anything as mundane as like elephants or rhinoceroses or anything like that. My suspicion is that Tolkien was sort of imagining, and perhaps imagining somewhat vaguely, just sort of monstrous creatures unlike anything in the modern world. These sort of monstrous, primordial creatures. What are you doing roving around here? Aren't you supposed to be on lookout? Aren't you leave your post? Oh, face down in the caltrops. That'll teach you. So I think that they're supposed to be... I think that he alludes to them as vaguely as he does. That is, he describes them as vaguely as he does. Primarily because we're supposed to be sort of leaving us free to imagine some kind of like hideous monstrosity, unlike any surviving modern creature. Also, this is exactly the sort of thing that he hang on. If I could only target you guys, I would take care of you. But this is exactly the kind of thing that he kind of he sort of leaves things open to himself. You know, like all the reference to, like, you know, ancient evil things. Like, I'm not saying that these are examples of them, but it's like the things that are in Moria, right? When Gandalf talks about these, you know, these things that, these old things that are, you know, that the nameless things that gnaw at the center of the earth and everything. I think those are the kind of things that he's referring to. Sorry, I'm just kind of curious about that white. So, like, is there a Pelennor enemy just hanging out up here for some random reason? I was wondering why there's that white quest ring up here. It's weird. But it's alright. I won't worry about it too much. Anyway, so again, I'm not saying that the nameless things of Moria are necessarily, you know, some of the beasts of ivory and horn. I'm just saying that this idea of twisted, monstrous, primordial creatures that can still be found roaming the world. One of the advantages of him vaguely describing creatures like this is that he can pull them out, you know, at like kind of any time, and it creates this idea of these, you know, free-ranging, indeterminate evil beings. Monstrous, twisted, tortured, also quite likely beings. But I want to come back to your suggestion of dinosaurs, Tomas, because I think that concept actually has a lot of merit, and is a very, very interesting angle on the beasts of ivory and horn. And I never really thought, oh wow, look at this. This is a party. Anyway, I never really thought about that before, but I actually think that you're onto something. That is, I think that what Tolkien may be doing there, not specific, like, I don't think he is actually saying that they're dinosaurs. Oh, I don't have to go back to Ingold at all, huh? Oh, these are set it and forget it quests, huh? So he sent me out on them, and I just, oh, that's great. So that means there aren't going to be follow-ups unless I get landscape follow-ups. All right. Let's, I still wonder what those isolated quest rings are, but maybe I'm just doomed not to know. Hang on a second, that's not what I wanted. Let's head down to Pelennor next, I suppose. Anyway, so like I said, it's not that I think that in describing the beasts of horn and ivory, he's actually wanting us to picture a Tyrannosaurus Rex, right? You know, or like, you know, Stegosaurus or something like that. I don't think that he specifically is thinking that way. However, whoa, is Pelennor the huge ball of fire up there? Bet it is. Okay, what am I supposed to do here? Just defeat enemies? Do you all count? Yeah, you do. Do all of you all count? No, you don't over there. You don't count. You don't count. You don't count. But that dude counts. And that dude counts. Okay. I see where the boundary is. We can work with this. Anyway, like I said, I don't think that he's actually envisioning concrete and like specific dinosaurs, familiar dinosaurs. But I do think it very possible that he's sort of invoking that entire concept here. That is, he would have known about the fell back right into the fire. That is metal. He would have known about, because I mean, it was in the first half of the 20th century, like while Tolkien was at Oxford, there were a bunch of dinosaur bones discovered, and I think that was kind of a thing, right? I mean, I'm forgetting my like archaeological history here, so any of you who know better and remember better can correct me, but I would think that would be kind of something that was in the air in Oxford, you know, during the decades in which Tolkien was teaching at Oxford. And there's a lot of there's several examples of things that Tolkien, like where I think you can see Tolkien being influenced by various sort of studies, not in his field, but that he easily would have heard about. In Oxford, there was a lot of communication. Like he didn't necessarily hang out with a lot of, you know, professors and researchers from other departments necessarily. Like he wasn't necessarily like buddies with them, you know, drinking down the pub every night. But they did have like, you know, faculty symposia and things like there was a lot of like sharing of research at Oxford among the different things. So it's clear that he had heard many of the things, like from his scientific colleagues, from his archaeological colleagues. Some of this you can see, for instance, in just to cite one example, Lake Town, the research into finds of what looked like villages set on piles in lakes like Lake Town. He was particularly interested in this, and I believe that was a thing that was being like sort of researched and presented on by somebody else at Oxford. It's possible I'm misremembering this, but I think that's an example of this kind of thing. Anyway, it would not surprise me in the least bit, is what I'm saying, if Tolkien was hearing about dinosaur discoveries, or, you know, or the sort of the state of, you know, dinosaur knowledge back in the early 20th century, and like thought that was a cool idea, you know, thought that was a, you know, sort of was interested in that concept. Those 3 sites, is that where the named dude might be hanging out, in any of those 3 sites? Were these are those random quest rings that, so does he wander about? I'm looking for Hulur. Anyhow, okay, so let's just imagine for a second that Tolkien has in fact been to a couple, you know, symposia, a couple presentations on dinosaurs. So this idea, which even just presented as a sort of mythic concept, would have appealed to him. This idea that in the ancient days there were these mighty creatures, far greater than any creature that now lives on the earth, but in the ancient days they were this dominant species, right? These monstrous lizard horned, you know, many, oh, there he is, with many horns and spikes and enormous teeth, which again would have shown up in the fossil record. Anyway, like this is the idea of these creatures would have very much appealed. My might is trivial, he says as he drops dead. That's your final words? Oh, the irony. I do have to take that one back to Ingold. Oh, well. Anyway, like I said, I think that the concept of dinosaurs would have very strongly appealed to Tolkien's mythic sense, essentially. It's exactly the kind of thing that he loved to imagine. Think of how that fits so well with other things that we see in Tolkien's world, right? That in, today creatures only get so big, but in ancient days of yore, they were huge, right? Everything was greater. Everything was bigger back in the ancient world, right? Just think how that alone would have so strongly appealed to his mythic sensibilities. Time to set fire to some more siege equipment. Oh, no, I'm just going to blow it up. Ah, right. Forget the incendiaries. I'm just gonna, woof. Oh, the aftershocks. Oh, man. Yeah. Anyhow, so, I think you can see what I mean by how I think dinosaurs would have appealed. So yeah. Again, does that mean he's picturing dinosaurs when he's describing those beasts? No, I don't think so specifically. Not in the way that, people like me and probably you, who, if you're anything like me, grew up, with lots of dinosaur books and wanting to be an archaeologist. And man, I just read a dinosaur book with a kid, with like what, like a 7-year-old, 6 or 7-year-old, with like a modern dinosaur book, not like the old dinosaur books that I grew up with, or even the older dinosaur books that my own kids had. In other words, this was a new dinosaur book that was written like since the Chinese shared all of their archaeological findings. So there's like all these awesome new Chinese dinosaurs that I'd never heard of in my life. Like the amazing enrichment of the field of archaeology that has happened since I was a kid. Unbelievable. Like even since my kids were kids. Couldn't even believe it. All right, so these siege engines I'm meant to sabotage are pretty far spread apart. Anyhow, I'm getting distracted now, though. The point is that I do suspect that the creatures of horn and ivory, these vague, large, terrifying, mythically evocative creatures of Morgoth from back in the early days, I do think they may be conceptually related to or inspired by dinosaurs, even in a sort of a vague and purely mythic way. So, but as I said, I never really thought about that before, Tomas. So I'm really glad that you brought that up, because I think that's I think that's a really fascinating possibility. But it feels right to me. It feels right to me. Can I destroy this without alerting either of those two dudes or the Crusher? I think I can. I'm gonna explode. I'm gonna implode this thing. Oh, here come the aftershocks. Boom, boom, and they're still futilely hammering on it. Love it. Okay, let's stay on this road because that's where the siege engines are. Okay. I still got some traveling around to do. Well, I'm getting towards the end. I should be able to finish these 3 quests, and then we'll see what Ingold says. Probably he'll have another round of Northern Pelennor quests to send me on. If there are 22 Pelennor field quests, and, you know, he represents half of them, essentially, I assume there's going to be another round, maybe another couple rounds, right? I've got to have like 10 to 12-ish total here in Northern Pelennor. There's plenty yet to do. Okay, only 3 more. I love how I can't go through the space formerly occupied by the siege engine I've just exploded. Okay. Let's see. You know, it was really fun going around with Tolwin, but I have to admit, it's kind of nice being on my own again, so I can just sneak through the camp. I don't think I've had to fight a single orc in this whole section of the camp so far. Ever since I got done fighting Easterlings. Okay. Now if I sort of circle back around. Let's see. Where is it relative? Okay, I gotta take a left here. We're almost there. It's gonna be up on the hill. Oh, no, there it is. Oh, they hid the siege. They disguised it. They hid the siege engines among the other siege engines against which I apparently have no built-in prejudice. Boy, that was cunning. How to hide a siege engine in plain sight. It's like being an uncle, JJ. Yeah. It's great to see my nieces and nephews and hang out with them, but at the end of the weekend, I get to leave and spend some time by myself. Yeah, it's sort of like being a grandparent, right? I hope being a grandparent is just like questing with Tolwin. That's a happy thought. But really, I was suggesting that questing with Tolwin was like being a grandparent or an uncle. Let's see. Oh, there it is. There's my last siege engine. Okay. Destroyed 8 siege engines without aggroing a single mob. Very burglarious, Gryfflet. Okay. And... okay. Speak with Ingold again. Okay. And we're running out of time, so I think we'll turn these in and... look at that clean map. I mean, not Minas Tirith, obviously, but one could hardly expect that. All right. Where are we in relationship to the city from here? Can't really see it through the smoke, and I'm looking in the wrong direction. Anyway, there it is. Okay, I see. All right. Now that I'm oriented, let's head back through the burning fields. There's that crusher just yelling at the fire. Presumably with enthusiasm and encouragement. Better avoid that swarm of flies because they just don't care. They're like immune to my stealth, which just doesn't seem right. Okay. Back up to Ingold now. And I suspect another round of North Pelennor quests. So much fun to get to hang out with Ingold so much. I wonder how the orcs are going to actually demolish this wall. The wall that's described in the book sounds less impressive than this. Okay, I've done much to assist you at the North Gate. Hey! Least I could do.
Ooh. See it in better days.
City defenders stuff, huh? Yeah. Well, that's nice.
We can only hope that the Rohirrim
I defeated their captain. Yeah, war is inevitable. Agreed, but yeah, we're doing our best. All right, what do you got for me now, Ingold? Only one?
Is this your first time in Minas Tirith?
Brutal Uruk-hai
you
from
couldn't see
Morgul
it in
Vale stalk
better
the
days.
fields. We must defeat these strong foes before those at Minas Tirith encounter them in battle. I know it's a repeatable, but I haven't done it, so... that's it? That's the only other Northern Pelennor quest? The rest of them are gated behind rep? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I think it's like if it's just that one quest, I could maybe do it. I got 5 minutes. Can I kill 10 Uruk-hai in 5 minutes? I gotta find them first, though. Well, let's see what we can do. Oh, you're kidding me. In order to complete these quests, I've got to be friends with the defenders of Minas Tirith? Alright, hang on. What's my rep situation here? Defenders of Minas Tirith. I'm getting there. So if I finish this, and then presumably I'll get more rep for this down in South Pelennor. And then I'll have to come back? Alright. So in other words, just remember to come back and check in with Ingold again after I get rep. Okay. Alright, let's see. Oh no, we're still ways away. We're still going through the outer camps that I had to temporarily depopulate. Since I'm so close to completing all of Ingold's quests, I cannot forbear the temptation to just complete this one. We're almost done. Okay, we're now in the purple zone. Oh, there we are. There's an Uruk-hai warrior. A couple of them. Alright. Hey guys. Wait for me. And, alright, hang on. I'll catch up with you. Keep going. You're holding a knife in your right hand and you just punch me with your left instead? That seemed poorly thought out. Okay, so they're the roamers? They're not around any fires? So I'm not going to find a pack of them. I've just got to wander about. No, here's a whole camp. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is good. Better take out the Defiler first. Okay, got a few of them here. Oh, good. I don't have to disturb those Uruk over there, with whom I have no quarrel at the present time. Okay, let's see. My purple zone is not getting any less. Oh, here comes another one. Is he by? Are you alone? That was unwise. Oh, spotting me from stealth, are you? Not that that'll do you much good. Okay. I love how fast I can move in stealth. It makes me so happy. Okay. I remember how painful that was back in the old days. Any Uruk-hai over this way? Oh, yeah. Couple. Oh, very thoughtful you guys are. I love that they're set aside from those other ones. Oh, look, here's one. Allowing Gryfflet to be nice and selective. Only two more. Oh, and I think I have a lead. Let's go around this way. Yeah, got an embarrassment of riches. Well, that's more than I need, but that's okay. My goal is to not draw the troll. I seem to have done that. Alright, can I just defeat 4 Uruk-hai straight up without healing? Yes, I can. Okay. I defeated many Uruk-hai upon Pelennor fields. Technically. Okay. How's my rep doing now? Not much increased, but that's okay. And that's it. That's all of them. Finished. It's just me and the shambling troll now. As we are going to be heading out towards... No, that's not what I wanted. As we're going to be heading down to the south to see Turgon. I wonder if Turgon was named after Turgon, or was he named after Turgon? You know. Woo, woo, help. Like, was he named, that is to say, was he named after, Turgon of Gondolin? Or was he named after Turgon the Steward, who was presumably named after Turgon of Gondolin? Okay. All right. Well, since I'm already slightly over time, and Druid's Fire is so patient with me, I'm gonna just head down to Turgon so that Gryfflet can be all ready Carry-on's getting all shy here. So one of the things that experiencing some lag. How is that possible? Experiencing lag on the outskirts of Minas Tirith? I wouldn't have thought that could happen. Whoa. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Druid's Fire. I was going to talk about that. So as we head down to meet Turgon and then sign off, I did want to say I'm actually, I'm not going to be able to be back for the next 2 weeks, which is another reason I'm really glad to have achieved such excellent closure in today's session. Next week, I will be flying down to Orlando for Sunshine Moot. If you are in the Orlando area or can get to it, or would want to join us online, you can join us remotely as well for Sunshine Moot. The theme is leadership. It's going to be a lot of fun. Sunshine Moot is always fun. So that's next Saturday, the 18th. Next Friday, as I say, I'll be on airplanes, so I won't be able to be here. The week after that, I'm going to be away again. It's not a Signum moot this time, but I was invited to be a guest of honor, I should say, at the Zenkaikon conference in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So I will be headed down. I'll be down in Lancaster. I'll be giving talks. In fact, I might even do some streaming from one of my panel sessions there at the Zenkaikon convention. We'll see. I'm not sure. But in any case, that's where I will be for the next 2 weeks. Man, the White Mountains are beautiful. That's where I'll be for the next 2 weeks. But I should be back on, 3 weeks from today, which would be, the 31st of March. So I'll miss you guys for the next 2 weeks. But on the final day of March, Gryfflet will be here hanging with Turgon at the South Gate and prepared for any number of quests down here out in the Harlond and the southern Pelennor fields and everything else. So thanks everybody for joining me. Druid's Fire is coming up next, and I will see you guys in a few weeks. Bye now. Thanks for joining in on my rambles around Standing Stone's brilliant digital adaptation of Tolkien's world. If you enjoy these adventures, please consider supporting this and other entertaining educational programming by donating at signumuniversity.org/fund.